Ladies and gentlemen, friends and dreamers, I stand before you today not just to speak but to connect, to inspire and to remind you that you have the power to create the world you live in. Not the world that others envision for you, not the world shaped by circumstances, but a world that is uniquely yours. We all know that life has its challenges. It throws obstacles in our path, leaves us bruised and broken. But here's the truth: the environment you grow in, the environment you choose, has the power to shape how you rise from those challenges. So, why is it that some people succeed despite the odds? What is it that fuels the ones who rise above adversity, who transform their pain into purpose and their struggles into strength? It's their environment. It's how they choose to see the world and how they choose to engage with it. They've crafted their own environment, one that nurtures their growth, one that holds their dreams, even when the world around them tells them they are impossible. You see, we are constantly surrounded by influences, people, media, even our inner thoughts constantly shaping our perspective. But the real power lies in how we respond to those influences. You are not a victim of your circumstances unless you allow yourself to be. The secret lies in creating the environment that fuels your potential. Let me take you on a journey. Imagine a garden, a beautiful, thriving garden. Now think of that garden as your mind. The seeds are your thoughts. The soil is the environment you choose. You can plant seeds of fear, self-doubt, and negativity, and you'll watch as those thoughts take root and grow into weeds. Or you can choose to plant seeds of positivity, hope, and determination, and watch as they blossom into vibrant flowers that fill your heart with strength. This choice is yours. It's not about waiting for someone to come along and hand you the perfect life. It's not about waiting for the world to change. It's about standing tall, creating your own space, and surrounding yourself with the energy, the people, the words, and the actions that elevate you. Your environment is not just where you live, but what you feel, what you believe, and what you surround yourself with. Create a space where your dreams are not just fantasies, but daily reminders of what is possible. Surround yourself with people who encourage your growth, not those who drain your energy. Fill your days with moments of inspiration, moments that remind you that you are capable, that you are worthy. And I know it's not always easy. Sometimes the world feels like it's pushing you down, like the voices around you are louder than your own. But that is when your power is tested. When everything is against you, you are faced with the choice to create an environment that will push you forward, no matter what. Don't let your surroundings define you. Instead, you define your surroundings. You are the architect of your own life. You have the pen in your hand. Your environment doesn't happen by accident, it happens by choice. So today, I urge you, create your own environment. Fill it with love. Fill it with inspiration. Fill it with growth. It doesn't matter where you start or how dark things may seem at times. What matters is that you have the courage to change your environment and to believe that you are worthy of the space you create. The power lies in your hands. Your environment is a reflection of what you believe, and what you believe is what you will become. We often find ourselves feeling like we are at the mercy of external forces, our circumstances, the people around us, and the world at large. We sometimes fall into the trap of thinking that we are shaped entirely by the environment we are in, that our lives are dictated by the conditions and situations that we face daily. However, one of the most powerful truths we can embrace is this: you are the architect of your environment. This is not just a feel-good statement, it is a profound reality that can transform your life if you truly grasp it. When we talk about being the architect of your environment, we are referring to the idea that you have the power to shape, influence, and create the world you live in. It means that you are not a passive observer in your own life, but an active participant, a creator, a designer of your experiences. It is easy to let life's challenges and external factors dictate our mood, our decisions, and our perspective, but this gives away our power. The moment you realize that you are the one who controls the space around you, the way you react to challenges, and how you view yourself, everything changes. One of the most empowering concepts about this idea is understanding that your environment is not just the physical space you occupy, it is also the emotional, mental, and social atmosphere that surrounds you. You create your environment by the choices you make, the energy you invite into your life, the people you surround yourself with, and the attitudes you choose to hold. These are all elements that contribute to the environment you live in every day. At first glance, it may seem that you are just reacting to the world around you. The job is hard, the relationships are strained, the economy is tough. These are all real external factors that can weigh heavily on your spirit. But the real question is, how do you respond to them? This response, this attitude, is what shapes your internal environment. And when your internal environment is in your control, it influences the world around you. When you are clear about your values, your priorities, and your goals, you can intentionally create an environment that supports these things. Your environment should be a reflection of who you are and who you are becoming. I think about the spaces you occupy, your home, your office, the people you interact with, the communities you engage in. Are these spaces uplifting? Do they help you grow, or do they drain you? Are the people around you motivating and encouraging you, or are they holding you back with negativity and doubt? The power of being the architect of your environment is in realizing that you have the ability to choose. You can decide what enters your space and what exits. You can invite in the things that align with your values and aspirations, and you can distance yourself from the things that do not. This control over your environment is not limited to physical or social spaces. It extends to your mental environment as well. Think about your thoughts. Are they uplifting? Do they serve your highest potential, or do they undermine your confidence and abilities? You may not always be able to control the external events happening around you, but you can always control how you respond mentally. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have at your disposal, and how you choose to think directly influences the environment you create in your life. For example, if you consistently tell yourself that you are not good enough, that you are not capable of achieving your goals, then your mind will create a mental environment that reinforces those beliefs. This mental environment will limit your actions and cloud your judgment. You may find yourself shrinking from challenges, avoiding opportunities, and doubting your potential. However, if you choose to believe in your worth, your abilities, and your dreams, your thoughts will align with those beliefs, and your actions will reflect the confidence and self-assurance that come from them. It is important to remember that your internal environment is just as important, if not more so, than your external one. The external world may change, the people around you may shift, and circumstances may fluctuate, but the one thing you can always rely on is the internal world you create. This is why being the architect of your environment is so powerful. You are the one who sets the foundation of your reality. You are the one who determines whether your life is built on a foundation of strength, resilience, and positivity, or on a foundation of fear, self-doubt, and limitation. Take a moment to think about the type of environment you are creating in your life right now. Are you building an environment that supports your dreams, or are you letting the negative voices of others drown out your own? Are you cultivating an internal environment of peace, clarity, and focus, or are you allowing chaos and distraction to take over your mind? The answers to these questions will reveal the state of your life and whether or not you are truly the architect of your own environment. One of the most powerful things you can do as an architect of your environment is to consciously choose who and what you allow into your life. The people you spend time with have a tremendous impact on the energy and environment you create. If you surround yourself with people who are constantly negative, who complain about everything, or who bring you down, it will be difficult to maintain a positive and empowering environment. On the other hand, when you choose to be around people who uplift you, challenge you to grow, and encourage you to be your best self, you begin to create an environment of support and growth. It's also important to note that the environment you create is not just about others, it's about how you treat yourself. Do you practice self-care? Do you give yourself the space to grow, learn, and evolve? Too often, we neglect our own well-being in the pursuit of external goals. But your internal environment must be nurtured and cared for if you want to create a thriving life. This could mean taking time for rest, learning new skills, setting boundaries, and honoring your own needs. Creating your environment is also about embracing change. It's about understanding that the environment you create today may not be the same environment you need tomorrow. As you grow, as you evolve, your environment will need to evolve with you. Don't be afraid to change things up when necessary. If something no longer serves you, if something is holding you back or weighing you down, don't hesitate to let it go. The more you honor your own growth and evolution, the more your environment will align with who you are becoming. Another key aspect of being the architect of your environment is taking responsibility for the energy you bring into any space. Every room you enter, every conversation you engage in, every situation you face, you bring energy with you. You have the ability to influence the atmosphere around you. When you walk into a room, do you bring positivity and light, or do you bring tension and negativity? When you engage with others, do you uplift them with your words and actions, or do you contribute to a culture of criticism and judgment? You have the power to choose the energy you carry with you, and this energy can change the environment in profound ways. It's also important to remember that being the architect of your environment doesn't mean you have to do everything on your own. It doesn't mean you must isolate yourself or control every aspect of your life. Part of creating a positive environment is knowing when to ask for help, when to collaborate with others, and when to lean on the support of people who share your values and vision. No one is meant to build their environment in isolation. It's about creating a space that allows for connection, collaboration, and community. Being the architect of your environment is about making intentional decisions in every area of your life, your thoughts, your relationships, your career, and your personal growth. It's about understanding that you are the one in charge. When you take responsibility for the environment you create, you take responsibility for your own happiness, growth, and success. The people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on the lives we lead. Every day we interact with individuals who influence our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, some in positive ways and others in negative ways. This is why it is crucial to carefully consider who we allow into our lives. When we talk about creating an environment that nurtures our growth and supports our dreams, one of the most important factors is the people around us. They play a significant role in shaping our mindset, our actions, and ultimately, the environment we create for ourselves. Positive relationships can uplift and encourage us, while toxic relationships can drain our energy, sow seeds of doubt, and make it harder to achieve our goals. Often we fail to realize just how much power the people around us have over our lives. If we are surrounded by individuals who constantly criticize, belittle, or hold us back, it becomes increasingly difficult to move forward. On the other hand, when we surround ourselves with people who support us, who believe in us even when we don't believe in ourselves, and who encourage us to pursue our dreams, the environment we create becomes one of possibility and growth. The truth is that we often become the average of the people we spend the most time with. Our attitudes, habits, and even the way we see the world are shaped by those who influence us the most. Think about the last few months or even years of your life. Who have you spent the most time with? What energy do they bring to your life? Do they elevate you or do they hold you back? The people you choose to associate with will ultimately impact the course of your life. This is why it is so important to surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you to be your best self. It's not just about the quality of the relationships you have, but also about the energy these individuals bring into your life. Each of us carries energy, an invisible force that influences the atmosphere around us. The energy you bring into a room can change the dynamic of that space, just as the energy of others can influence your state of mind and well-being. When you are around people who radiate positivity, optimism, and ambition, it is natural to feel inspired and motivated to do the same. Conversely, when you are surrounded by negativity, cynicism, and doubt, it can become difficult to remain focused on your goals. One of the first steps to creating an environment that fosters growth is to evaluate the relationships you currently have. Take a step back and ask yourself, are the people around me encouraging me to grow, or are they holding me back? Are they supporting my dreams, or are they trying to diminish them? Are they lifting me up, or are they dragging me down? This evaluation is not meant to be judgmental or critical, but rather to serve as a way of identifying where change may be needed. We must also acknowledge that not all relationships can be cut off or eliminated completely. Sometimes we are surrounded by family members, colleagues, or friends who may not be able to provide the encouragement or support we need. In these situations, the key is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries allows us to protect our mental and emotional well-being while still maintaining relationships. It's about knowing when to step back and how much energy we should invest in certain people. By setting healthy boundaries, we create an environment where we can continue to thrive, even in less than ideal circumstances. It's also important to recognize that some of the most impactful relationships are not necessarily those we've known for years, but rather those we choose to cultivate in the present. Building relationships with people who share your values, your passions, and your vision for the future can create an environment of shared growth and mutual support. Surrounding yourself with individuals who are also working toward their goals, who have a positive outlook on life, and who encourage each other's success creates a ripple effect that elevates everyone involved. These types of relationships act as a support system, providing you with the motivation and accountability you need to stay focused and achieve your dreams. Additionally, it's essential to remember that the energy you bring to your relationships plays a key role in the environment you create. If you want to attract positive, uplifting people into your life, you must first be that kind of person yourself. It's not enough to simply seek out supportive, encouraging individuals, you must also embody these qualities. The more you practice kindness, optimism, and a willingness to support others in their growth, the more likely it is that you will attract like-minded people into your life. By creating an environment of mutual respect and support, you become a beacon for others who share your values and aspirations. At times, we may find ourselves in situations where we feel stuck in toxic relationships. It's important to remember that we have the power to make choices about who we allow into our lives. Just because someone has been in your life for a long time or because they are a family member doesn't mean you have to continue allowing their negativity to affect you. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to let go of relationships that no longer serve us, but it's often the most necessary step in creating an environment where we can grow and thrive. One of the best ways to ensure that the people in your life are supporting your growth is to engage in conversations about your values, goals, and dreams. By sharing what's important to you with those around you, you create an opportunity for mutual understanding and alignment. People who genuinely care about you will be open to supporting your aspirations, and those who don't will reveal their true intentions. This transparency helps to create an environment where everyone is on the same page, working towards similar goals. Creating a supportive environment is not just about getting rid of toxic people or building relationships with the right ones, it's about nurturing those relationships over time. Building meaningful, positive relationships requires effort, communication, and commitment. It's about being present for others, offering your support, and helping them grow just as they help you. These reciprocal relationships form the foundation of an environment that supports and empowers you, allowing you to reach your full potential. When you choose to surround yourself with the right people, those who inspire you, challenge you, and lift you up, you create an environment that encourages growth, progress, and success. You are not only shaping the world around you, but also influencing the world within you. Your external environment, the people you spend time with, directly impacts your internal state of mind and the way you approach life. The energy, positivity, and encouragement that you receive from others can empower you to become the best version of yourself and achieve things you never thought possible. Our thoughts are incredibly powerful. They shape the way we see the world, the way we interact with others, and ultimately, the reality we experience. The seeds we plant in our minds are the foundations for everything we build in life, whether it's our career, our relationships, or our sense of self-worth. This is why it is so important to be conscious of the thoughts we cultivate, because they create the environment we live in. Our minds are like gardens, and the thoughts we allow to take root are the seeds that grow into the future we experience. The connection between our thoughts and the environment we create is undeniable. When we think positively, when we focus on what we want to achieve rather than on what could go wrong, we create an environment of possibility. Conversely, when we allow negative thoughts and doubts to dominate our minds, we create an environment of limitation. In many ways, our internal environment is the most important environment we will ever encounter because it is the space where everything begins. Before any change can occur in the physical world, it must first happen within us. Every thought we have sends a signal to our brain, shaping our perception of reality. When we believe in ourselves and our potential, we send a message to our brain that we are capable and deserving of success. This message then influences our actions, our decisions, and the opportunities we attract. On the other hand, when we allow negative thoughts to fester, thoughts of self-doubt, fear, and insecurity, we are signaling to our brain that we are not enough, that we don't deserve success, or that we are incapable of achieving our dreams. This, in turn, influences the way we approach challenges, the way we interact with others, and the way we perceive ourselves. Our thoughts are the seeds, but it is our consistent attention and focus that determine whether those seeds will grow into something positive or negative. A single positive thought may seem insignificant in the moment, but when nurtured over time, it can transform our mindset and our life. Similarly, a single negative thought may seem harmless at first, but when allowed to persist, it can quickly take root and grow into a destructive pattern of thinking. The key is awareness. By paying attention to the thoughts we entertain and actively choosing to replace negative thoughts with positive, empowering ones, we can change the environment of our minds and, by extension, the world around us. The environment we create within our minds also extends to the way we perceive the world. If we are constantly focused on the negative aspects of life, the challenges, the setbacks, the disappointments, our internal environment becomes a reflection of that negativity. We may begin to feel stuck, overwhelmed, and helpless, as if nothing is going our way. However, when we choose to focus on the positives, the lessons learned from challenges, the opportunities that lie ahead, and the things we are grateful for, our internal environment shifts to one of hope, possibility, and resilience. This shift in mindset allows us to see the world in a different light and to approach life with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Our thoughts are not just passive reflections of the world around us, they are active forces that shape our reality. When we focus on our goals, our dreams, and our vision for the future, we create an environment of intention and purpose. We begin to attract the people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with our desires. This is not some mystical, magical phenomenon, it's simply the law of attraction at work. When we focus on what we want and believe that it is possible, we open ourselves up to the possibility of achieving it. But when we focus on what we fear, on the obstacles in our way, or on the things we don't want, we create a self-fulfilling prophecy that keeps us stuck in a cycle of negativity and limitation. The beauty of this process is that we have the ability to choose which thoughts we entertain. While we cannot always control the circumstances we find ourselves in, we can control how we respond to them. Our thoughts are within our power, and with practice we can train our minds to focus on the positive, to find solutions rather than problems, and to create an internal environment that supports our growth and success. This doesn't mean that we ignore the difficulties of life or pretend that challenges don't exist. It simply means that we choose to focus on what is within our control and take proactive steps toward creating the future we desire. Our internal environment also influences the way we interact with the world. When we have a positive, growth-oriented mindset, we approach life with optimism and confidence. We are more likely to take risks, seize opportunities, and pursue our dreams. We are more resilient in the face of adversity and more willing to learn from our mistakes. Conversely, when we have a negative, defeatist mindset, we tend to shrink back from challenges, avoid new opportunities, and doubt our abilities. The way we think determines the way we act, and the way we act determines the world we create. The space you inhabit plays a fundamental role in shaping who you are and who you are becoming. It's easy to overlook the importance of the physical environment you live in, but the reality is that the surroundings you immerse yourself in have a deep impact on your mindset, energy, and overall well-being. The spaces we occupy, our homes, workplaces, and even the places we visit regularly hold a unique influence over our state of mind and emotional balance. Creating an environment that nurtures your growth, dreams, and overall well-being is not a luxury, it's an essential part of the journey toward becoming the best version of yourself. When we talk about creating a space that nurtures growth, we're talking about more than just a clean, organized room. It's about crafting an atmosphere that supports your goals, your aspirations, and your personal development. Our environments are a reflection of our mental and emotional states. If we surround ourselves with clutter, chaos, or negativity, it can be difficult to maintain focus or feel at ease. On the other hand, when we intentionally design spaces that promote calm, clarity, and creativity, we are better equipped to thrive. The first step to creating a nurturing space is to eliminate distractions. Our environment should support the activities that help us grow, rather than detracting from them. Whether it's setting aside a quiet corner for focused work, creating a reading nook for reflection, or designing a restful bedroom to recharge, the goal is to craft spaces that allow us to focus, relax, and rejuvenate. Clutter is a powerful energy drainer. It can overwhelm our minds and keep us from thinking clearly. By minimizing physical distractions, we create an environment where our thoughts and actions can flow freely. Beyond physical organization, the energy of the space itself plays a vital role. The people we share our spaces with, the objects that fill them, and even the colors and lighting in the room all contribute to the overall energy we feel. For example, a room filled with bright colors and natural light can evoke feelings of happiness, positivity, and motivation. Conversely, a space with dim lighting, dark colors, and a lack of personal touches may leave us feeling uninspired, drained, or disconnected. By choosing the right elements for our spaces, we can tailor the energy to support our emotional and mental well-being. This extends to the people you allow into your space. Whether it's your home, your workplace, or any other area you frequent, the presence of certain people can either uplift or deplete your energy. It's important to assess the relationships within your space and how they contribute to your sense of self. Are the people around you encouraging your growth? Are they supportive of your dreams and aspirations? Or are they holding you back with negativity, criticism, or toxic behavior? The energy of the people you spend time with can significantly impact your environment. When you surround yourself with people who empower you, you create a space that fosters inspiration, creativity, and personal development. Creating a space that nurtures growth also involves infusing it with meaning and purpose. The objects in your environment should reflect your values, passions, and goals. This might include meaningful artwork, motivational quotes, or personal mementos that remind you of what you're working toward. Surrounding yourself with things that inspire you will help keep you focused on your dreams and remind you of the bigger picture, especially during times of struggle or uncertainty. By carefully curating your environment, you reinforce your own sense of purpose and drive. Another crucial aspect of creating a nurturing environment is ensuring that it is a space for rest and rejuvenation. We live in a fast-paced world, and it's easy to overlook the need for relaxation and self-care. However, without the opportunity to rest and recharge, we cannot fully show up for ourselves or for others. Your environment should be designed to allow for moments of peace and reflection. This might mean creating a cozy, quiet space where you can meditate, journal, or simply unwind. The physical environment must be conducive to rest, allowing you to step away from the demands of daily life and rejuvenate both physically and mentally. A nurturing space should also encourage creativity and inspiration. It should be a place where you feel comfortable expressing yourself and exploring new ideas. Whether it's an art studio, a home office, or a simple desk in the corner of a room, your space should be an outlet for your creative energy. This might involve adding elements that spark creativity, such as inspirational books, art supplies, or other tools that help you bring your ideas to life. A space that nurtures creativity fosters an environment where new ideas can grow and flourish. The process of creating a nurturing environment is not a one-time event, it is an ongoing practice. As you grow and evolve, so should your environment. The things that once inspired you may no longer hold the same meaning, and the spaces that once felt comfortable may no longer align with your current needs. It's important to regularly assess your environment and make adjustments as necessary. This could involve rearranging furniture, adding new elements, or even removing things that no longer serve a purpose. The key is to stay in tune with your own growth and make your environment a reflection of who you are and who you are becoming. Creating a space that nurtures growth is also about finding balance. While it's important to have a space that promotes productivity and focus, it's equally important to have areas that allow you to relax, have fun, and experience joy. Life is not just about constant striving, it's about balance, self-care, and enjoyment. By incorporating elements of play, beauty, and lightheartedness into your space, you ensure that you are nurturing all aspects of yourself, not just your work or your ambitions. Ultimately, the environment you create is a powerful tool for personal growth. It shapes your energy, influences your mindset, and impacts your ability to achieve your goals. By intentionally designing spaces that support your well-being, creativity, and aspirations, you can create an environment that empowers you to live the life you desire. A nurturing environment is one that fuels your passion, encourages your growth, and provides the foundation for your dreams to take root and flourish. The actions we take every day are the building blocks of our lives. Everything we do, no matter how small it may seem, adds up to create the environment we live in. Our actions are a direct reflection of the environment we have created for ourselves, and they, in turn, shape the reality we experience. The choices we make on a daily basis, whether consciously or unconsciously, influence the direction our lives take. The power to change and create a better environment lies in the decisions we make today. Our actions have a ripple effect, impacting not only our own lives but also the lives of those around us. The first step in understanding the role of actions in creating our environment is realizing the impact of consistency. It is easy to think that one big action will make all the difference, but the truth is that consistent, small actions are what ultimately create lasting change. It is the everyday decisions, the way we choose to spend our time, the words we speak, and the habits we form that create the environment in which we live. These small actions, repeated day in and day out, are what lead to significant transformation. Whether it's choosing to wake up early, dedicating time to self-care, or making the effort to cultivate positive relationships, the consistency of our actions creates a powerful force that shapes our surroundings and the way we experience the world. Our actions are a reflection of our mindset. The way we think directly influences the things we choose to do. If we believe that we are capable of achieving our goals, we will take actions that align with that belief. If we have a growth mindset, we will take actions that foster learning, development, and improvement. On the other hand, if we have a fixed mindset, our actions may be limited by self-doubt, fear, and a lack of confidence. The more we believe in our potential, the more likely we are to take the necessary steps toward creating a better environment for ourselves. When we act in alignment with our goals, we send a message to our brain that we are capable and worthy of success, reinforcing our belief in our own potential. The environment we create is also shaped by the way we interact with others. Our relationships, whether with family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers, are influenced by the actions we take. When we show up with kindness, compassion, and respect, we create an environment that fosters trust, collaboration, and mutual support. On the other hand, when we act with anger, frustration, or indifference, we create tension, conflict, and negativity in our relationships. The way we treat others is one of the most powerful ways we influence our environment. Every interaction is an opportunity to either contribute to a positive, supportive atmosphere or to perpetuate negativity. The actions we take in our relationships are like the threads that weave the fabric of the environment we live in. Another important aspect of our actions is the way we manage our time and energy. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have, and how we choose to use it directly impacts the environment we create. If we spend our time on activities that align with our goals and values, we are building an environment that supports our growth and success. However, if we waste time on distractions or engage in activities that drain our energy, we are contributing to an environment that holds us back. Time management is a skill that plays a crucial role in creating an environment that fosters productivity, creativity, and well-being. When we use our time wisely, we are able to create space for the things that matter most, whether that's working on our personal development, pursuing our passions, or spending quality time with loved ones. The choices we make about how we spend our energy are just as important. Energy is a limited resource, and how we choose to direct it can either enhance or deplete the environment we create for ourselves. When we focus our energy on things that bring us joy, fulfillment, and purpose, we create an environment that nurtures our well-being and supports our goals. Conversely, when we spend our energy on negativity, drama, or toxic situations, we contribute to an environment that drains us and holds us back from achieving our potential. Being intentional about where we direct our energy is key to creating an environment that fosters growth, positivity, and success. Our actions also have a profound impact on our physical environment. The way we organize our spaces, the cleanliness of our surroundings, and the way we care for our homes and workspaces all contribute to the energy we experience. A cluttered, disorganized space can lead to feelings of overwhelm and stress, while a tidy, organized space promotes clarity, focus, and peace of mind. The way we treat our environment reflects how we feel about ourselves and our lives. When we take care of our surroundings, we create an environment that supports our well-being and fosters a sense of pride and accomplishment. Our physical environment is an extension of who we are, and the actions we take to care for it can help us create a space that nurtures our growth and creativity. One of the most powerful ways our actions shape our environment is through the habits we form. Habits are the actions we take on a regular basis, and they are the building blocks of our lives. Whether it's exercising, eating healthy, reading, or practicing mindfulness, the habits we form create the environment we live in. Positive habits have the power to transform our lives by creating an environment that supports our goals and values. Negative habits, on the other hand, can hold us back and create an environment that perpetuates negativity and stagnation. By consciously choosing to form positive habits, we are taking proactive steps to shape our environment in a way that fosters growth, health, and success.